Oh, God damn it.
All right.
So after that rigmarole, let us recap of where things are. We have three assignments on the board. We have the Dusk Mother, which is going all right. You have three clues to that. You also had a dinner with the skeletons, which was perfectly normal. The House of Green Delights, you did answer a question in that regard. You did find the chrysalis room, which is very interesting. You are currently at three clues with that. So technically, you could answer at a -1 if you really want to gun ho. And then the Bowered Companion, no clues to that. Hasn't even been traveled to. Wonder what's going on with that. It's by.
Just a little journey scene. I'll be fine.
Mhm.
So we can't, or I guess in Silt versus we don't use mastermind clues for, or could
No,
we use? Okay, all right.
no, it's purely for a timer perspective because it's much shorter. Uh Instead of it being like, oh yeah, we're at 15 clues, it's 8. So it's a
Oh,
speedy
Well,
we're
there's
so fucking close.
Yeah, you're on what layer are you on? With three clues, that's
5
Oh,
more
that's
and
it.
we get the
I thought it
thing.
was more than that, to be honest.
Mhm. No. You're at layer 2. So yeah.
Fun. Um, this bitch has three conditions and has had three conditions for the previous two sessions. This bitch needs a journey scene, and
Okay.
I can't do it with
Can't do it with your sister.
unless she makes the fucking roll. I'll have it. Like that.
Uh,
That's the only way.
I will note that you should change up your end of session questions now.
Oh, that's.
Just like the ones that I have.
Mm-hmm. They're
I'm
just
just probably
good.
gonna keep them for the rest of the game.
Mm-hmm.
The local community one doesn't really track for Zeph,
I'm gonna leave mine
nor does
actually.
the undermining the orders.
Yeah, I'm
And
gonna
I
leave
already did the
mine.
monologue once.
I mean, technically, undermining the orders could also apply to Dear Dear Husband. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, yeah, but struggling with your personal faith is just better for that.
Mm, that's true.
And vulnerable with someone is also really fun because
Hmm.
then I get to be an abuse victim begging someone to save me, and that's always a good time.
Oof.
Hmm.
Sure is.
Hmm. Yeah. With that, we will go into the investigation phase and we'll click the journey for Trinity. Does anyone else want to go on traveling between assignments?
I'm begging you, Piper. I'm begging you, Piper.
I
I
mean,
Please.
listen. I am
I
so
know you're fucking
close
your
to
way through
solving
the
this
other.
one.
I know you're
uh,
fucking your way through it. Please,
I'm
please.
I,
in the chamber where the lost girl is right now.
I,
Like
It's it's fine. I'll do a regular journey scene with you.
chaotic would like to. Chaotic's raising his hand.
yes, I will note that you can clear conditions by yourself through your
Oh,
use of
great. Oh,
personal
all right.
ritual.
Well, oh,
All by yourself. It's fine.
No, I want to do a regular journey phase. That was one of my
good
wishes.
luck. Good luck.
Okay.
Look,
Well, Zeph is insisting, so I guess the Zeph is going to go into the journey. phase.
I can do a journey phase as soon as I finish this goddamn quest.
As soon as you finish fucking your way through an assignment.
Yeah, no, we're gonna hand the High Dionysian a t-shirt that says, "Hi, I'm the quest."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, all right. Piper stands accounted for as to what she's doing. However, we need to resolve a particular move with Zeph, who wants to enter a regular journey scene. Veiled move. What are you afraid might happen?
uh, I let's see. I think honestly, she's probably more afraid of the HOA crashing the fucking journey scene.
Mm, okay. I would say roll with because since it's more HOA that's the issue. I'm gonna say this is gonna be with focus.
What is my focus one?
Disadvantage because you're too busy for him.
Yeah, fair.
You better write a verse, I swear to fucking God. If this road goes shit, you better fucking do a verse.
Uh, well, it did
Fuck's
go
sake.
shit. That's a 5.
Jesus Christ.
You better do a verse.
I think Trinity has gone a little bit ahead because, well, frankly, there is the issue of the Bowered Companion being left a little bit unattended for a bit. And that's okay. However, because a little bit earlier you did sort of knock out an HOA member, there is a little bit of a white like like a white van parked towards the entrance of Weft, unlabeled, unmarked. And I think as like you're probably walking along the road, passing by it, a bunch of people come out. I'm not sure whether or not you recognize them uh, as individuals, but you do recognize them as HOA members, and they literally grab you by the arms and drag you into the van. You're gonna get kidnapped.
Uh,
Unless you want to mark a verse.
yeah. Yeah, I do.
Fuck. Thank fuck.
Which verse are you marking?
This is a good question. Um, hmm. Think we'll do. I'll do a verse of history. I'm not sure which one yet.
Okay. Instead, you will gain the condition my sister's keeper.
Fuck's sake.
That's pretty good.
Sorry. Not sorry.
Yeah, because that wasn't evident.
I'm innocent and just so pure and normal.
You lied.
Mm-hmm. So the journey scene, an artist's mural. You've seen them before from the road, vibrant swords of color and confounding patterns painted along the sides of trains, a crumbling brick wall, an abandoned vehicle, and an old water tower, a slanted roof. The form varies, but the intent is clear. These murals contain experimental prayer marks that affect the viewer. I paint the scene for everyone. The painting is curious, with spiraling green tendrils creeping from its borders to explore the environment. What shapes seem to shift and stir as if trying to break free from it? You're muted, Aaron.
Oh no, I was not. I was
Oh,
like
okay.
living in the moment I was about to do. Uh, Beautiful tentacles just reaching out and entwining together in the most horny way imaginable.
It's safe to assume that this is probably a prep mark to Bright Feather.
Think that the tendrils kind of pulsate and bulge out of the wall every so often, as if it's trying to break out.
This is again why me and Seth should not be unsupervised together.
We're
You,
supervised.
yeah,
Are we?
This is public.
this is
We're
public
recording this.
and recording. Yeah. Um,
This is exhibitionism at this point.
That's I'm just gonna be silent now.
take us home, Kyle.
Okay. What shapes arise? I
Hmm.
mean, like you would think that it's almost like a magic eye painting for a little bit, but like you don't even have to work hard to see like the detailed like tendrils and everything that have intertwined in horny ways to create pretty in-depth views of the clitoris, pretty in-depth views of the penis. Like they're everywhere in this mural. It's everywhere.
So recall a time prompt in terms of role playing is when did you learn a secret that could not be contained? How did it get out despite your best efforts? Which I think is very interesting for the Harrow sisters.
I don't know. I have no idea what you mean, Kat. Like I have no clue.
Mhm.
They're not keeping any secrets.
Yeah.
There's nothing about them that's, you know,
We're just very normal siblings, just the most normal.
So, how do we think we're traveling together to this place?
So, given that Trinity burned the just married car,
I mean, that and also Zeph is unallowed to drive.
so I think Trinity probably hotwires a car and steals it. Very, very Trinity.
Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah, Weft probably like has a lot of abandoned vehicles and whatnot, just
Mhm.
based on the nature of its town. So not something that would be missed.
Yeah, she's I would say cruising, but that's not like cruising has a different connotation than what I mean in this moment. Um, so yeah, like I think Trinity wears a car and turns to Zeph and is like, Get in. I never want to see that fucking just married car ever. Ever again.
I think that Zeph nods, and she gets in the passenger seat and says, "I didn't want to see it in the first place, so works for me." I
You're
think
com you're complicit, and that makes me want to puke.
I'm
I'm
complicit. Did you not see what happened? Did you not notice me begging you for help and then you didn't?
I fucking dare you.
No, how dare I? How fucking dare you? You sat in the back seat while I was getting assaulted by a god and begging you for help, and you just
You
what,
want me to kill
watched?
a god? Is that what you want? Is that what you want from me? You want me to kill a god?
Or me? Either one would have worked.
I'll never kill you. Trinity grabs Sev's face and pulls her in for a kiss.
I think that Zeph pushes back. She's like, "No, you don't get this right now. We're not doing this right now. I'm mad at you."
What the fuck do you want from me?
Compassion, understanding.
I I have gone through so much for you.
It can't be, "Oh, fuck your sister" all the time. There has to be some emotion. Like, I
I
get,
love you, you dumb bitch.
yeah, I love you too. Why else would I be so mad? I get that anger is like your primary emotion, but sometimes you need to let it take a back seat.
I I don't know how to do that anymore.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. I know, I get why, but
You're married to a god. I am stuck with my own god that I didn't want. But
he killed everyone I knew, right?
I'm alive.
Yeah, because I told him you were dead.
Have
It's a
you
miracle
have
he
you
didn't kill you when he got in the car.
have you considered that even gods can bleed?
I hope so. I mean, did you see him? I guess, did you see
No.
him?
I wish I could have. I would have tried to destroy him.
He wore our father's skin at my wedding. It didn't even fit right.
There's nothing I won't do for you.
You just said you won't kill me.
You're right, I won't do that. Why would you want
And
that
at
from me?
least just be my sister this time. Not my lover. Just for a little bit.
Anything but killing you.
I need you more than ever lately. I am sorry that we've been apart for so long. I'm sorry about. I don't even know what happened after I got fucking taken.
I we've reunited because I agreed to a thing I didn't want to. I never wanted to be the ambassador for Sweet Jelly Crunch Tooth, but they promised me I'd see you again.
Well,
And I think he's more powerful and prevalent than your garbage husband.
I hope so. So if your god can kill my god, then
No, I'm going to kill your god.
please
You're
do.
mine. You're mine. You'll always be mine.
I want that to be true more than you might ever imagine. I know you didn't see him, but did you see what he did to me?
When
In the car. You know,
I
when my
could, I
throat
couldn't, I couldn't, I
bulged.
could. Yeah, I saw that.
It
That's why I burned that. Well, that's the only reason I burned that car to the ground.
it reached the depths of my chest cavity, Trinity. And it wrapped itself around my heart and squeezed as if threatening me because he knew I lied about you.
I am going to kill him. The
I'm
only person who is allowed to wrap their tongue, hands, whatever around your heart is me.
I'm really happy that we get to see each other again. But did you ever maybe consider that there was a reason that we hadn't? I've been trying to keep you safe from this.
I didn't ask you to do that. That's not what I
No.
wanted.
Well, of course not. A big sister's job is to protect her little sister.
I need to be protected.
Trinity, you've always needed to be protected. That's why we did what we did.
Fine. You know what? Justify whatever you need to justify. I
I
participated willingly and not because you were rejecting me, because I love you.
I can't believe that you're doing this.
Doing what?
I'm
I want to kill your god. I
Yeah,
there's
and you're
there's
blaming me.
I'm not, but I am. You're right. You betrayed me. You left me.
Trinity, I was kidnapped. What do you mean?
I don't care the circumstances. You left me.
If you keep acting like this, then I am going to leave you. Some things are out of our control. A god must feed, Trinity. I would have thought that you, out of everyone, would have known, would be unable to understand that, considering what we did to feed one.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Just drive.
Okay.
I think they probably sit in silence for the rest of the car ride.
Yeah. So I think in terms of conditions getting clear, I think Zeph probably clears my sister's keeper and Trinity clears hot and bothered.
That seems very valid, yeah.
I
Mhm.
would argue that it's more that I think Zeph probably clears too busy for him, given all the ranting uh
Mm.
about the dear husband, and especially I really don't think that sister's keeper makes sense because this whole kind of conversation was about her being her sister's keeper effectively.
Yeah, and still being trapped into that. Okay, I'll give you that.
Sick.
All right. All right, we'll get you out of the journey phase as you enter
Thank
into.
fuck. Sorry, thank fuck for the condition clear. That's what I meant.
Now that you're trapped in a car with your sister, the thing that you've
Yeah,
wanted forever.
yeah. It's all good and fine. Everything's fine.
We love Toxic Eerie.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm sitting here listening, and every 2 seconds, someone says something else, and my Zoom says, "Hey, you're muted. I know you're trying to talk, obviously, but you're muted." And I'm like, I know it's good.
Yeah, it's
I'm
good.
just
Yeah.
screaming. All I'm doing is screaming.
Screaming over our deeply toxic Yuri.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
So, and less toxic Yuri type of style, I guess.
Not by
Um,
much, though.
Debatable. Uh, we head over to Piper, who's presumably pulling up her pants and whatnot
For the second time,
for the second time today.
for the second time, like in the last 45 minutes.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, let's see. I need one more. Uh, I want y'all's opinion. Should I go for one more clue and roll it flat and then try and just like fucking completely demolish this and get out? Or do I do it with only three clues and do it at a minus one?
Do it -1. Don't be a coward.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, let's
All right.
fuck it up.
All right, then everyone needs to help me with this. How can you free Jesse
Okay.
from the divine
Uh,
machinery? I'm not sure
let
yet.
me see the clues real quick.
We've got
Uh,
a stained glass heart. As the red glass flakes away, it reveals green glass underneath. A chess
chess
piece
piece.
strangled by thorny creepers. The thorns have punctured it in several places. And then next to the puddle of just like bodily fluids where the high Dionysian and I have just been going at it. A corpse covered by a blanket. They've been gored by horns and beaten to a pulp. A discarded mask lies nearby.
So I think that those first two mostly help us to understand what is going on here and how we can, which will thus lead us into how we can potentially help. The stained glass heart with the red flaking away, revealing green, is like symbolic of Jessica's heart being transformed into something else for the House of Green Delights. And the chess piece strangled by thorny creepers, I think it's probably the queen chess piece, and the thorny creepers puncturing it in several places mimic the spots where Jessica is being fed in these tubes effectively. So these tubes are basically pumping, I don't know, god juice into her heart and trying
God,
to
juice
transform
sounds
her
good,
into a
yeah.
saint. Yeah.
The
That's where
corpse,
I'm
the
at. I don't know the
corpse,
corpse.
the corpse. I think the corpse is a failed version of what they're trying to do, Jessica.
Oh.
And sort
Like,
of like the idea of
so
like,
they have an example of, oh, we fucked up this way, so now we know how to do it better.
Okay.
So maybe we have to mimic the wounds without killing Jessica in order to get her free of the machinery.
Yeah, I think that yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
okay.
So yeah, it's not only just removing her from the thing, pulling her out of it, but also like there are specific spots mirrored on the corpse that we need to like make wounds in Jessica in order to disconnect Jessica spiritually from this thing too.
Yeah, because like I mean, it's Silt versus so like what once you get deep into the religious whatever bullshit, like you have to like go through the process. Yeah, I think yeah, 100%.
Effectively, just to note, so I don't have I have other assignments open, not the House of Great Delights. Good job, me.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Brightfeather is a goddess of desire and love, um, as well as like having very big symbology with alcohol, particularly with like various green ambrosia, that sort of thing. Absinthe, that so I suppose
That's
like
so
the
disgusting.
question of why violence corrupts this sort of ritual, like it's the idea that pure love is kind and gentle, whereas if you invoke violence upon this is not pure and kind love, unlike dear husband, who is mostly just violence.
Yeah, the violence is the expression of love.
Which stands for a reason why, like in an alternate timeline, like that, like Brightfeather took offense to dear husband being there. So I like that. Who would like to roll?
Um, I'm gonna nominate Kyle because Kyle started this off. So
All
And
right.
also
That's fair
has
theory.
been going the entire fucking.
yeah, fucked their way through the assignment. So
And we're doing it in -1 because I'm not a coward. Is the that was the
yeah, I mean,
rationale, right?
we have the verse. We have the verse, right?
No.
No, we used the verse for the last
Oh, we
question.
did use the.
Oh,
Oh,
so we're all gonna put on a verse if you fuck up. No pressure.
all right. Here we go. That's a
Yeah.
3. I
All
rolled a
right, so
4.
we're all gonna put on we're all gonna do a verse, right?
Mhm.
I mean, I fucking love this theory a lot. So, I mean, we
Yeah,
could try and get one more clue and just reincorporate the theory some with a new clue.
I vote verse. Just 'cause I love lore.
Oh
I'll
man.
be the
But like if the majority is we don't do a verse and we eat shit, I guess. That's fine too.
Yeah,
I
what's the
realize that
consequence
sounded
for eating
sarcastic.
shit?
I meant it genuinely. Like it's fine if we eat shit. I'm happy to eat shit.
Oh, it's
won't say it like that.
Ignore that statement. Ignore that statement. I didn't say anything.
I'm never gonna clip that. That one's gonna be a YouTube short. We're going to.
Yep.
Flip it
Yeah,
and ship
that's
it,
gonna
baby.
be that's gonna be a moment. Great.
I'm happy to eat shit.
Wonderful.
You
Yeah,
yeah.
like
so
eating Doritos.
I think just due to the nature of like the increased violence and because like uh both the Harris sisters have been effectively banned from this location,
yeah.
you you Piper have been fucking your way through it. So invoking Bright Feather's like own like domain in this, like I think it's worst case scenario. Jessica will be baptized and reborn as a new kind of love saint. So
So we'd fail the
So
whole
we just
assignment,
failed the
basically.
whole assignment.
yeah.
So we're gonna do a verse, right?
Okay, we should do a
Mhm.
verse.
Yeah,
We should
let's do
do a
it. Let's do
verse.
it.
Well, hold on.
Oh, okay.
What would Jessica becoming a new love saint entail exactly?
So here's my theory. Here's my theory. The
Mhm.
Ketteridge Foundation is like they're the ones that are trying to push this. And we learned last week, or rather, I kind of like I put something down and Chaotic picked it up, that Bright Feather's actually trying to use Jessica as a love saint to like symbolically unify the
Mhm.
peninsula and the Linger Straits, which is because technically we're not in on the peninsula right now, we're in the Linger Straits. And that's an admirable goal, which I think that the Ketteridge Foundation knows is going to fail and is actually pushing closer to war between the two. I don't think that Bright Feathers, the High Dionysian, understands that the Ketteridge Foundation is trying to get them to fuck this up. Um, and I think that if we let it happen as is, it will accelerate towards war between the straits and the peninsula.
I do like that, but I don't want I don't want us to
I don't want this
beef it.
smoke.
I don't want this
Yeah,
smoke. Like honestly, I wanna mark up a fucking verse,
that's
right?
why that's why I say we mark the verse and stop this so that we are not pushing them towards wars
Yeah.
by
Yeah,
doing a
Okay.
Mhm.
good deed.
We're all on board with marking a
Yeah.
verse then.
Yeah.
All right.
cool.
Cool.
Cool. I'm gonna do the this tough. I kind of want to do the Blooming Revelation, but
Well, you
also
have to mark them in order.
I know I that's the next one for me.
Yeah. Trinity
Oh, I
has.
was looking at Piper's. Duh.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no, I'm speed running the bad end.
Bad end. My goodness.
Um,
All right. So
so
Trinity's.
I'm gonna do a verse of history. Eh?
Mhm. Okay.
I'm also going to do a verse of history.
Mhm.
And I will. I think the action circle is pretty appropriate given that whole conversation we just had.
Oh yeah. Okay. The
Oh,
answer
oh, sorry.
the answer is correct. I think the complication is pretty obvious because like the followers of Bright Feather never intended for that first corpse to be created. It got created because of another saint around who was
Ooh.
jealous, who wanted to be the favorite. And so I think just as a complication, I'm going to say Ooh, what is it called? No, it's not saint. It's an angel. The angels are different from saints. Saints are people, angels are animals. So the stag right here, right now, is going to make its appearance. And I think
Oh,
that's where we're going to take a quick break as you think about
Sounds
your
good.
verses.
shit.
Getting on this.
Again.
Hi, everyone.
We are very normal about things.
We're so normal.
Everything, truly.
Mm-hmm. Trinity, as you are driving in silence with your sister, the wilderness outside Ulm, equal parts forest, field, and hissing electricity pylons, crisscrossed with muddy trade roads and polluted canals, perpetually covered in a haze of acrid fog that eponymous whispers can be heard within by those who listen closely. Paint the scene for everyone. Almost every acre of the Whisper Plains has been marred by industrialization. What particularly egregious scar have humans left on this part of the wilderness?
Oh, I've got this. And so, very Lorax vibe of all the trees have been cut down and it's barren. So barren.
The only thing that breaks up the barren monotony is the graveyard filled with the rusted hulks of combine harvesters and tractors and everything that have just been left to rot and rust in the middle of these barren fallow fields.
I think that every single sign of horrid, unnecessarily industrialization is way too many fucking parking lots.
Can I do a number two?
Sure.
You should rephrase that.
Yeah, we're going
Uh,
to add that to the
oh,
clip of the previous clip.
but whatever. I really don't give a fuck. Uh, number two, paint the scene. Uh, there is multiple golf courses. Um, and they have the ability to like shift like where the traps are and like it's a full like mafia movement for golf. This is definitely not based on an anime. It is based on an anime.
Everything you do is based on an anime, Aaron.
Shut the fuck up, bitch.
Hmm. But is a foggy sort of path. You probably can't see too far in front of the headlights of the car that you are driving. But in the silence, the sound of, well, the wind against sort of the golf grass or just the sound of electricity buzzing through pylons. It is silent. For a long moment, the only sound there is your own heart beating in your ears.
Trinity parks the car,
Mhm.
grabs Seth. Let me show you how dedicated I am. Gets out of the car and plows forward by herself.
think that Zeph probably like I think that she scrambles to get out, but I have a feeling that Trinity locks the doors before she leaves so that Zeph
But that's
takes a little bit
yeah.
longer.
Yeah, that sounds good. I like that. Let's do that.
Yeah, so she scrambles to unlock the door and get out before, but Trinity's already like lost in the fog by the time she gets out of the car. Uh, I think that Zeph is kind of just going to look around and
Mhm.
uh, she'll probably go in the direction that Trinity went, but I don't imagine she finds her.
Yeah, let's see why that may be. Trinity, I would like you to make the revelation move. What are you afraid might happen?
Fuck's sake. Um, I think given that Trinity has been so aggressive to Deirdre husband, uh, I think that the thing I'm uh most worried about happening is Deirdre husband or HOA is going to find me, come for me, etc.
It's worse than that, because Trinity, not in her deepest fears, realizes there are more gods out here. There are more dangerous things. After all, this is the powered companion's domain. He who follows light along the path, old friend, the haunting solace. Literally, the fog around you is the god. And he will
Given
consume
what I
you.
just said, I assume disadvantage. You know,
Yeah, probably.
set myself up for fun. Let me see. What do I have? What do I have? Um, oh, you should cut away to someone else for a second. Because I'm gonna use a move,
Okay.
which requires me to do like a whole ass thing.
All right. Going back to Piper then, because Zeph needs to follow Trinity, and Trinity needs to be resolved before Zeph can do stuff. So, Piper, we cut back to you, because because well, that the answer question happened while you were pulling up your pants,
Yes.
timeline wise. I think you hear coming from up the steps a snorting gnat noise, and the high Dionysian. She says, I'm sorry. It's it's a jealous thing, and I cannot help you in this moment. And she steps back towards the wall as coming up through the door is what looks to be a very, very hulking figure, over 7 feet tall, loinclothed, sculpted like a statue, polished skin slick with oil. His head is a face of a deer. And where deer meets human flesh is translucent green blood oozing down. Some of it dripping down his pectorals. Yeah, it's a lot like the Horned Knight, except more animal than person with horns.
Okay.
Um, since this is technically your first encounter with him, there is a question associated with him. How can the stag be contained, destroyed, or appeased? Complexity 4, so you cannot fight this creature in a
Oh,
reasonable
wait,
manner.
it's its own.
Yeah, it's its own question.
Oh, you.
Oh, you. That's such a beautiful moment.
Yeah,
Jeez.
it's been several sessions. I was
Oh,
like looking for a
no.
good moment, but you kept on rolling pretty well with other moves, so I couldn't reveal it.
Yeah, hmm. I can
Mhm.
still resolve the assignment by getting Jessica out of there.
Yeah.
But the stag is a big
Big issue.
problem. Um, hmm. Oh, jeez. I mean, we don't have any clues at all.
Yeah.
But damn it. Sorry, you've completely thrown me for a loop.
I, I really woke up today and chose violence.
Yeah, Jesus.
Shocking.
I mean, I'm still committed to my plan of fuck my way through every part of this every part of this assignment. So like um wow, okay. If I were to oh Jesus. Okay, hang on. If I tell me how dumb an idea that is to just be like, "Oh, if it's a jealous thing, I can share. Like it can have me."
Listen,
It's a like
I'll always do the bad decision.
Uh,
Always.
it's going to be a revelation move just to like temporarily distract it, but it will have your scent regardless. Because once you encounter it, it will not stop hunting you. So even if the assignment has been resolved,
I can't just help but imagine
I was
you
saying, so nothing to
sitting in
lose.
your.
Like, you're already going to be hunted. So just
I'm gonna be
go.
hunted. I might as well get fucked out of it, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus Christ. I look at the High Dionysian and search their eyes for like any kind of clue that like High Dionysian, I think that this might be a bit much to be testing my commitment to what we're doing here. But as you well know quite well yourself, I can take it. I can take too much. So bring on your big fucking monster. And I'll show you again that they don't call him the Endless Writer for nothing.
make the revelation move. What are you afraid might happen?
I um What am I not afraid of? Okay. I am afraid that I don't know. I'm
You got
afraid
this, honey. I believe in you.
that I don't. No, I don't. No one should. I thought I had an idea of how this was going to go today.
Listen, I already kind of knew this was going to be a nightmare session.
Okay. I am afraid I'm afraid that I will not find any moment to have the upper hand in this fuckfest.
Mhm. It's worse than that. There are certain desires out in this world for primacy, for predator and prey, and you are prey, and you will be torn apart by this encounter because you're nothing more than just a little rabbit.
All right.
You have disadvantage because
Hmm.
this is this is a love saint by Bright Feather, and you have the condition dating Theo. Your own complications with
Oh.
romance has led to more complications in carnality.
Um, haven't you heard it's my birthday, actually? I should get a free.
How dare you? How dare you?
Do not lie about your birthday.
Okay, I won't.
Extremely rude. Extremely rude.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, I think that I've got a fleshy can of mace that screams when you spray it. Um, that I am going to use when things get too hairy
Mhm. Fair enough.
to cancel out and I'm doing this with communion.
Communion.
Jesus Christ. Oh, Jesus Christ, it's worse than the last time. I rolled a 3. Just could not get the job done. Jesus Christ.
We never can.
Yep. You reach up towards this hulking figure who at first seems tender with grasping your face and grabs you by the throat to control you. And I think just because the size, it's much bigger than what you have previously experienced before. Feel like you are splitting in half, quite literally, because you are splitting in half. And so that is the demise of Piper Kessel.
I'll mark a verse, but you didn't have to go out of your way to find a way to turn me on while you killed me. Chaotic. Jesus.
Jesus Christ. Get it together.
Get it?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's a weird thing, like because it is like a Minotaur type of situation. So like, does it count as bestiality?
It
Uh,
does. Minotaur is monster fucking 100%.
mhm.
Well,
It's what I
no, no, sorry. Like, let me like
Yeah,
walk it back. Bestiality typically means like
like regular animals.
consent is not
Yeah,
happening.
yeah, because like here's
The
the thing.
hardness test has failed for bestiality.
Yeah, because uh like because it's specifically in the description of the stag, it does not speak but invites guests to commune. So like it can communicate in its own way. Um, so
So if the hardness test is always uh are they of consenting age? Can they communicate consent? Can they verbalize
Mhm.
consent. That's the hardness test.
Yeah, so technically does not pass the hardness test with point three. So I will label this as bestiality, I guess.
We'll call it
Valid.
borderline. We're doing edge play now.
I mean, listen, we like
We've
we
been
need it.
doing edge play like
I
Yeah.
I'm not gonna acknowledge any of this. Hmm.
but yes, I will mark a yeah, I will mark a verse to bump that up.
All right. Um, I'm very simply going to give you the condition marked by the stag. So we're gonna cut away. Yeah, in more ways
Cut
than one.
away as I get absolutely railed by this monster
Yeah.
monster stag.
Hmm.
They don't call me the endless rider for nothing.
Hmm. Hmm.
Steph, can you just chill? Can you just chill, Steph, please?
So, anyways, Trinity.
Yes, I would like to use my move. I'm
Hmm.
going to make a new brand of cereal, basically.
Let's read out that move.
Yeah, I would love to. Cough, cough. You have access to a private facility where new cereal flavors are developed and a crude working knowledge of how to transmute traces of divinity into experimental recipes. Testing much recipes requires trial and error. However, and you must frequently harvest new supplies for your experiments. When you complete an assignment or roll a hit on the relation move, add one Godflesh fragment to your altar. You may mark a Godflesh fragment to create a new flavor of cereal. When you consume it to test its effect, roll with communion on a 10 plus. The miracle works without further cost. Cost, there we go. Choose your effect. On a 7 and 9, the miracle works imperfectly. Choose your effect and a complication.
Hmm.
So, here's what I want to do.
Hmm.
And Trinity has a vendetta against Deirdre husband. And I'm pretty sure I got this Godflesh from a Deirdre husband moment.
Hmm.
The HOAM.
Yeah.
So here's what I want to do. I want to use that Godflesh, shove it in my mouth to force femme Deirdre husband. That's the plan.
Okay. Do you think the player first communicate? Yeah. Here's the thing.
Okay.
Uh, dear
So
husband is not currently in the scene.
fair. All right.
Yeah, because like
New
you.
pitch. New pitch.
Yeah.
I want to make a force femme cereal.
Okay, that is fair. I will
Okay.
say that because like you can create a new flavor of cereal. Um
Would y'all like to know the name?
Yes, I want to know the name of the Force Femme cereal.
Esteros.
Esteros. Okay.
Mine, I was gonna say EIEIOs.
It's pretty good too. All right, so yeah, I want to make a new
Hmm.
cereal that's Force Femme cereal.
Okay. And to test its effects, as it were, you roll with communion.
Indeed, I do.
It doesn't. That's the thing. It does not help the current situation. But
Do I have disadvantage?
no, because you're eating cereal effectively.
Thank God. Let me see if I can do it then. Oh, actually, well, I have to mark the God Flesh fragment
Yeah.
for start, but I do have based on narrative positioning, I do have a deity, Clucky Cheese.
Clucky cheese.
Clucky Cheese is gonna help me make a
Gonna
Force Femme
You're
cereal.
force fibbing Clucky cheese.
Yeah,
That's that's fair. Mark Clucky cheese.
I am going to do that. And done.
Mhm. Exactly.
This is the worst decision I've ever made.
Absolutely insane.
Completely insane.
I have lost control of this game.
Did you
10.
ever have it?
No. Um, we are doing an effect beyond human limitations, which is force fimming.
I
Without
made a Force Femme
drugs.
cereal.
Yeah, force fem cereal.
The content warning tags are just off the charts
Yeah,
now.
they're very off the charts now.
Uh,
It's
I'm
always it's mostly my fault. I'm very sorry, everyone who watched this. It's always my fault that we get more content warnings. It's always my fault.
I will note, like today, someone was asking for a Silt versus game, and I'm like, oh well, I can fit another game in my schedule and whatnot, and it's just like I wanted the darkest game available, and I don't think they understand the current game I'm running.
Just
I,
trying to like point them to
I
this one.
yeah, I'm gonna share this particular thing in a few discords that I know would appreciate Force Fem cereal.
I apologize to anyone who is offended by Force Femme cereal, but not really. Actually, I really don't care. I truly don't care.
I'm having a good time.
Don't you dare apologize. This is
No,
the best.
that's
It's
what I
so
said.
good.
I'm not apologizing. Like I made
Oh.
Force Femme cereal. Like I'm a bad bitch. Thank God I roll a fucking 10.
Mhm.
My rolls have been shit most of this game.
Yeah, because I had a very evil thought as to what would happen on a miss.
I mean, me giving like me trying to like my main move has mostly gone bad.
Mhm. Yes, by feeding other people cereal.
Yeah.
However, you eating cereal, all good.
Turns out I can make amazing cereal if I eat it myself.
Mhm. I suppose the question is, Clucky Cheese, what
Yeah.
does the hen look like now?
Oh, great
Yeah,
question. So instead of dead eyes, I think they're they're now kind eyes. And I think like the I forgot what it's called. The little thing they have on top of their head. I think that has gotten like flowerful. That's a word. I don't know if that's a word. Chicken breast. Great. Comb, yes, the comb. So the comb is now like fully full of flowers now.
Beautiful.
But despite the change in eyeballs, there is still a vibe of dead stare.
Hmm. That's fair. Are you still heading out into the fog?
I am, yeah.
Okay. We'll cut away to Zeph. You managed to get outside of the car because like these things like have manual locks. So like as you were trying to open it, it like stopped you for like a moment before you realize, oh, here's the lock. And open the door. Wireless technology is not too much of a thing in the Silt verses because there must be a god of everything
Hmm.
and has to have the more technological it is, the more sacrifices it requires.
Uh, yeah, I think that, Zeph gets out of the car and is like kind of panically looking around.
Mhm.
And I think she's just gonna kind of run in the directions she saw Trinity run while like shouting for her name.
I will make this the revelation move. What are you afraid might happen?
Oh my fucking God. Good
Uh,
luck.
Good luck to you too, because this fear is involving you.
Oh
Uh,
no. Oh no.
she's afraid that she's gonna find Trinity's corpse.
It's worse than that. What you will find, you will think is Trinity's corpse, but in reality, it isn't.
Hell yeah.
We're just gonna traumatize Seth.
Good, finally.
Hmm.
Finally. Yeah, as if there hasn't been enough of that in both of their lives.
Yeah. I'm gonna say disadvantage because you're my sister's keeper.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm so
Uh,
sorry, honey. You did
I
this though. You deserve it.
I think this is probably with communion, just because like you're sort of trying to call out for your sister, and it really doesn't fit any other stat. Because what is the fog stat?
I mean, is the
Truly,
fog
what
the
is
fog
the
is
fog
like a
stat?
manifestation of the
Yeah,
deity anyways, right? So
yeah,
that it probably would just be communion.
yeah.
Um I have no idea how to use these fucking baby socks and this golden spoon. uh yeah, I guess
Golden spoon like a
I guess I'm
dowsing
just gonna
rod.
fucking Oh, that could be fun.
Golden spoon like a dowsing rod.
I
It
think
seeks
I
out
kind of want
cereal.
to. Oh
Seeks
my
out
god!
cereal.
It seeks out
Actually,
cereal.
actually, I fuck with that heavy.
Mhm,
The golden spoon looking for something to eat.
mhm.
Oh, that fucking rules. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. She pulls out the golden spoon and like balances it on the tip of her finger and follows the direction that it points.
Mhm. Okay, roll
Jesus
flats.
Christ.
All right. That's still a 6.
Still 6.
First,
So
first, first, first.
you come across, as you're running further into the wilderness, while the first part of the plains was sort of cut down, there's still sections where further on there is tall trees because it is a wild woods, and even parts of it still cannot be tamed. And eventually the trees break away to a nice little meadow clearing, and in the center of it looks like Trinity, laying face down, dead.
Yeah, I think that Zeph probably screams so loud that she loses her voice. Probably not permanently like Piper because she's not
Mhm.
sacrificing it to a god. Um, but yeah, she screams her throat raw and runs to the corpse and gets down on like all fours and begins like sobbing on its chest.
Mhm. Yeah. I think at this point, because technically I've been holding off a little bit because from the journey move because you haven't really gotten too far into this assignment. But Trinity and Zeph, you do owe me a clue.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
forgot about that part.
Yeah.
Uh, what happens with the not Trinity body? Because I have an
Mhm.
idea for what the clue could be depending on what happens here, and if I
Mhm.
mark a person or
I'm
not.
happy to subscribe to whatever you want to do with not
Oh,
Trinity's dead body.
yeah.
Don't say it like that.
That's what it is. It's not Trinity.
Yeah.
You know that's not the part I was upset about.
I think first things first, you will take the condition hazy. And I think as you go like sort of touching the body, it smells rotten, as though it has been here for weeks. Have you been lost in this bog for so long that your sister died out here alone and you couldn't find her body?
It's
There is,
Ashman. How
there
could you
is,
leave me?
yeah, the body itself like has like bits of tattered fur, wood, straight teeth, and it suddenly grabs you and it's trying to eat you. Congratulations, you found an
Time.
angel.
War time. Let's
For
go.
time.
Hardcore, no less.
Hard for.
Uh,
That's not hard for Ally. Unless like you take chunks.
what do
I
you think is trying to do?
mean, I assume that was like just you just shove. Never
Yeah.
mind.
uh, yeah, I'm gonna mark the bleeding revelation.
Hmm. Yeah. Uh, you still, it's as I described before, you think you find your sister, but as you reach it, the body and touch down to it, it disperses into fog rather than it being a physical manifestation. You're getting
But I still get the
confused.
condition, right?
Yeah, still get the condition
Cool.
hazy.
All right.
Do,
I,
do I do
I
I
think
still
I think at this
do I
point,
still
for
get to like have a incest moment?
what do you mean? This whole campaign is that?
I'm just saying, like right now, like
You want to enter into the scene?
I kind of do.
I
I
will.
I want to
I will
get
let you.
the clue real quick.
Yeah, yeah,
Go. Do that, do that.
yep.
Uh, I think that when the body of not Trinity dissolves, it leaves behind a like basically a tap root uh, that is made of fog, but it is solid. You can like pick it up and move it around. A solid taproot made of fog.
I think at this point, with how many, I don't know, verses that have been building up, I think I would like some narrations, please.
Oh, yeah, I can probably do that.
Because like both Piper and Zeph have like two like verses marked.
Oh, I have three.
Oh,
Yeah, I've got Whispered Psalm, Ashen Circle, and one of my history
Oh, sure.
verses.
Am I the only one who only
yeah,
has one?
yeah.
Good luck, y'all.
It's your birthday.
I'm safe.
Happy birthday.
I don't believe I'm safe, for the record.
Do you want to go, Zeph, or do you want me to go?
I thought Aaron was going.
Oh,
No. I was actually saying like, oh, I only have one verse to do, so like y'all have more. So,
I see. Uh, I can go. Sure.
all right. Cool.
Um, so I think first I'm going to do a flashback to the event that made you step away from your faith.
God,
We're back on the farm with uh, the emerald green stalks of corn that have been fed by the blood shed by Trinity and Zeph. It seems to be at least a year since that event, and the crops are still green, which implies that they've continued killing people to feed to this god. Uh, and at one point, I think one of the people that Zeph effectively abducted to for her and Trinity to sacrifice was a member of the HOA. And Trinity and Zeph didn't know this at the time, just kind of thought it was a regular, weird door to door person. Came up to our house, tried to sell us on something, so sacrificed it to a god. And I think it's maybe a week after that when there is a knock on the door. I think that Trinity probably answers it first. And when the door opens, there is like a whole, effectively, like riot squad in HOA uniforms that are, and like Kevlar vests that have like a wedding ring emblazoned on the front of them. And I think they immediately push past Trinity, and Trinity is able to see past all of these people that there is a large unmarked white van. Uh, the people push in to the house and they start basically tearing everything apart. One of them is like viciously questioning Trinity about what happened to the other member of the HOA, where, like, if there's anyone else in the house. And I think that, Trinity obviously wouldn't ever give Zeph up. But Zeph hears this.
no
And
snitch.
yeah. Zeph hears this, hears her sister being intimidated, and her instinct to protect Trinity kind of takes over. Um, and I think that Zeph immediately like comes down from the. I imagine she was probably in the attic doing something or another. She comes down from the attic and like jumps these people in the riot gear, like just fully not caring about what happens to her. She's just trying to at least create a diversion so that Trinity can get out. And I think that, Zeph takes a beating. All of the riot squad focuses on her. I don't think Trinity would use this diversion to escape, but the HOA members have, eventually they take hold of Zeph and they just kind of shove Trinity out of the way anytime that she tries to get involved. And we hear as they are dragging Zeph's unconscious body toward that unmarked white van, one of the members of the HOA kind of like, I think turns to Trinity and says, "You're lucky she's more of a rebel than you are," and then leaves. And yeah, that is when Zeph was forcefully taken from her faith, made into a new one.
It's so fun.
Yeah. And now I'm going to do the Ashen Circle, narrate a flashback to when he crawled inside for the first time to move you to divine action. I think it is very, like, we cut to the inside of that van, and Zeph is awake and conscious, incredibly bruised, battered, and, she's bound in, like handcuffs and rope tied to the, tied to like little anchor points in the van. And eventually they get to a large church that has looks like it's been set up for a wedding. And, the van stops. Zeph is frantically looking around trying to get out of her bindings, and people open the van, and Zeph doesn't see anything in front of her. But the camera pans to directly in front of her, and as it begins to move toward Zeph, we can see each lumbering footstep, and we can see the bright white glow of the dear husband from the camera, though Zeph can't see him, at least not yet. And she's still bound and battered and bruised, and the doors to the van seem to close on their own, and Zeph begins panicking, shouting, screaming for help. And as she opens her mouth, she chokes, and something begins wriggling inside of her and in her throat and down the rest of her body. And as this sensation intensifies, she begins to be able to see the figure in front of her, the dear husband, that glowing light. And I think that I want to do a check-in real quick. How are we feeling about, the sexual assault, sexual violence thing? Are we comfortable if I get a little bit graphic? It's not going to get too much into it, but it is going to be bad and gross and fucked up. How are we feeling on that?
I'm good with it. I just need to know that it's happening so I can give a content warning
Yeah.
for the video.
So I think that when Zeph is able to see the Deirdre husband, the camera cuts back to her point of view, and it is waist high. Um, as she still feels that thing crawling inside of her, and I think she begins. She was definitely already crying, but now she's sobbing, and uh, I think that eventually the thing inside of her pulsates and something fills her body, and uh, the figure backs up, this long tendril coming out of Zeph's mouth. She coughs and splutters, and this golden ichor kind of spills out of her mouth. Uh, and I think at that point, her eyes change to this bright, glowing white. Her irises are completely white and glowing, and the insides of her sclera are also like completely white, leaving just the outline of brown in her eye sockets. It's effectively a hollow circle of brown in this otherwise like divine glowing white light. And I think she, slumps down as the her bindings are undone, and she just stays there. She doesn't do anything. She just kind of weeps quietly, and then her new god reaches down a hand, takes hers, stands her up, and they begin moving to a little. It looks like there's a homestead that's been set up in this church, and he begins to take her into the home. Uh, and that's the Ashen Circle. I also have the bleeding revelation. I almost said the breeding revelation. Holy shit. Um,
I will also note that the Ashen Circle does increase your communion by one.
Yippee!
So it goes to 0.
Uh, well, yeah, I will hold off on the bleeding revelation for now so that other people can narrate theirs, and then
Mhm.
I'll I'll get that one in a bit. I do have the idea for it already. I just want to let other people have some spotlight first.
Yeah.
Especially given how fucking heavy that was. I need to come up for air.
Hmm.
All right. Then I guess that's me. Uh All right, a flashback to the first time you received a letter or parcel bearing the Relentless Rider's stamp. Um, how did it feel to have something sent specifically to you, and what did you find when you broke the seal and peered within? We cut to Piper's childhood home. Uh, she's about 17 at this point, and she actually looks it. And her mom's not here again, of course. Her mom's never here. She barely finds time to stop by, but maybe sometime soon her mom will visit, and she'll be able to you know talk to her more. She feels like she's really getting a hang of it, like of what this whole relentless endless rider business is, like all of that. And she wants to see if they can maybe go together. And it's a dark night, it's storming, it's the middle of the night, and she's sitting here just kind of feeling a little alone. Her aunt is the one that really takes care of her, but like her aunt's really, I don't know, not into it. She goes to bed early. She's not, whatever. She's not cool like her mom is cool. And Piper is awoken to the sound. There's a lull in the storm, and it sounds like something massive just like landed on the roof of their house. And she's just kind of frozen for a moment, and it sounds like there are footsteps on the top of the house. And then these kind of whooshing sounds like leathery wing beats almost. And then something lands uh on the ground in front of their house outside of her view. There isn't enough light, and there isn't enough this should be the moment that a dramatic flash of lightning reveals something, but Piper peering out the blinds can't make out a goddamn thing. And this shape kind of treads across the front lawn towards their door and disappears for a moment, and there's a knock on the door. And Piper is scared to answer it, and so just waits. And there's a moment of silence, and then the banging on the door gets louder and more insistent. But after a while, it fades.
Piper is your partner, yeah?
What?
Piper is your partner.
Piper's
Yes, no?
my partner?
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, character.
Character. Yes,
Sorry,
yes,
dumb.
yes.
Very dumb. Sorry.
No worries. Um, but yeah, no. Piper is waiting. And finally, this thing at the front door kind of moves off into the darkness. And Piper waits hours before going to check what's at the front door and finds um, two packages, both of them with the sigil of the Relentless Rider on it. And and she's elated. Like obviously this is a sign. Obviously she's been chosen, and she goes and she opens one of them up, and it's a set of keys. It's a set of keys to a bike. And she opens the door, and in the just the first rays of dawn, um, she looks, and in the driveway, there's a motorcycle, and she's totally stoked. And she gets on the motorcycle, she starts it, the key fits, it starts up, and there's this rumble, this deep rumble from within the bike, almost like a mournful cry. Um, that Piper kind of doesn't get why the bike is sad about it. It maybe that's just her imagination. It's not a thing like that. This isn't. And she's like, I cannot wait to show my mom this. You know, that's what she's thinking. And she opens up the second package, and it's her mom's green military jacket, and it's got blood on it, several
Oh,
spots of blood. And she realizes mom's not coming home. Mom's never coming home. But
extremely heavy.
she's got a job to do. She's got a job to do now. And first thing to do, we're going to cover up those bloodstains. And so she gets off the bike. She goes inside. She finds a couple patches that she's been dying to put on a jacket. And now she's got the perfect one. And that is the first time that she received something directly the from the Relentless Rider. I can clear. I'm seeing the question in the chat. Um, this is a
Different like
story.
stuff happens.
No, 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 no. Just the. This is a story of generational trauma.
Mhm.
So this was Piper is the Piper is Piper. This is a story about Piper's mom, and we've seen stories about Piper's kids. This god stays in the family.
Oh, I see. Mhm.
In fact, I can go and do the next flashback that I have,
Mhm.
which is a flashback to adulthood, showing the parts of your life that you neglected in pursuit of miracles. Um, After that flashback with the jacket, Piper sewn on new patches, and we jump to years later. It's not clear how many years later. Quite a few, it looks like. But Piper only looks a little bit older than her 17-year-old teenage self. You'd think she'd look way older, and she doesn't. It's weird. Um, but this is actually more of a montage because we see um, Piper roams all over, delivering things over and over to just across the peninsula and the Linger Straits. And every place that she stops, she has glory holes set up that she works. And she works them all the time. Each one has holes of at different heights. She knows exactly which ways are best for her to be in which position she needs. And it's just a montage, an endless montage of her on her knees and her doing this work. We see her age a little bit, not as much as you'd think, and we'd see her de-age a little bit. There's a moment that we see her working glory hole. She's pregnant. And then the next one, she's not. And then the next one, the stretch marks are gone. And then the next one, there's it's almost like there was never any baby at all. And this happens twice. This montage, it's hard to tell what time is because Piper is there. She is relentless in these glory holes, and she receives packages that she carries frequently for 9 months, at least twice. And now we get to the part of her life that she has neglected in pursuit of these miracles because there's a day where she comes home and her two daughters are there waiting for her. One's 12, the other's 6. And the 12-year-old has been waiting for mom to come home for a while. And the 6-year-old daughter is much happier to see her. And it's a joyous reunion. Where she's just, oh, sweetheart, I'm so happy to be back here. I know it's been so long. I'm sorry I can't call. I can't. And it's clear that the kids have missed having their mother. And it's clear that the time for their mother to be a part of their life might be drawing to a close. The montage continues. We don't hear dialogue, but we do see the 12-year-old and Piper get into kind of a intense screaming match that we don't hear the words to in the kitchen one day during this visit. And then we see Piper get back on her bike. And then we see Piper get back on the road. And then we see Piper delivering packages and delivering letters and back in the glory holes and back on the road. And then the flashback ends.
God damn.
I think I'm just so shell shocked by all this. Um, uh, that I think just by the nature of what Piper has done for the House of Green Delights, I think with the stag temporarily sated,
Yeah, I fucked
and
that monster to sleep.
yeah, I think with your relationship with Dionysus, the Dionysian priestess, I don't think it's too much trouble to release Jessica. Therefore, I'm going to say the House of Green Delights has been resolved.
We did it!
You
Yeah.
did it. Because the stag question has not been answered, it will be continue to be an ongoing danger.
Can I actually do like a quick narration of how, because I think that as this montage ends, we cut to Piper on the ground, like with the stag kind of still on top of her, and it is lost steam and lays down and falls asleep, and she wriggles and pulls herself out from underneath it, just gasping and panting and just like barely able to stand. And she finally does stand up, and I think that the Dionysian is just kind of dumbstruck, like not expecting anyone to really be able to outfuck the monster. Um, and Piper grabs her cane and says, "Right, all right, we're done. Dionysian, you can either leave the fucking room right now, or you can help me with the monster you're creating. And I don't want any lip, any of it at all from you. We're doing this my way, you understand?" And Piper hobbles over to the tank and starts hitting the buttons and releasing the valves. And when Jessica comes out, and oh yes, when Jessica comes out, Piper pulls her down and unplugs her, and gently consoling her, saying, "Oh, sweetheart, it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right." Takes her over to the sleeping stag and just says, "I'm so sorry," and presses the parts of Jessica's body into the points of the stag that she needs to be severed, and covers her mouth to keep her from screaming to wake this thing up. She's, "I'm so sorry." And it's done. It was only 5 points. And Piper wraps her up in her jacket. He says, "You're going to hold on to this for a moment, and we're going downstairs, and we're leaving. Do you understand?" And I says that to the Dionysian. And Piper walks Jessica out from the top floor down to the bottom floor, naked, except for her mask. Her clothes gathered up, barely gathered up in a bundle, like underneath her. She's soaked, dripping. She's carrying the ichor dripping Jessica, and she goes to her bike. She gets on the bike, and she fucking delivers that daughter to the fucking mayor and says, "As payment, I'd like a pair of pants." I think if that's okay with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is perfectly okay. Yeah.
Fucked my way through the entire investigation. Yes, dripping. Yes, that was intentional. Yes,
Clean shit.
It's gross on purpose.
I don't know what you're talking about. I did nothing.
Piper the girl queen pussy boss for real.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Piper's messed up.
Piper is messed up. In terms of rewards for the assignment, there is
Monster
several.
fucking's its own reward.
Monster fucking is its own reward. A bottle of green ambrosia added to your altar. A stick of lipstick, black in most lights, but actually a very dark green, stamped with a prayer mark to bright feather, added to your altar. The Book of Love, a tome bound in green snake leather with copper inlays. Inside, love poems, prayers, chants to bright feather, recipes for love potions, advice for young paramours, useful sacrifices to acquire mates, educational diagrams of 2 or more bodies embrace, and more. Added to your altar. A green object from a green verse added to your own or someone else's altar. A memento from the investigation, or the queen becomes a recurring side character. You get her phone number, and with it, the access to the special move, Petty Games.
Is the
Oh,
queen
that sounds hot as fuck.
Yeah, that's the first woman that Piper fucked.
I want her.
got it?
Listen,
Me too.
I'll fuck anyone and anything. Uh, y'all go first.
Oh, this is interesting. I think
No, you.
I think I'll take a. What the fuck does that even mean?
I really don't know.
I'm gonna take the bottle of ambrosia. That leaves you, Aaron.
Yeah,
No.
because Piper picks the queen as a recurring side character.
Yeah. What's my options then?
Lipstick, Book of Love, a green object from a green verse, or memento.
I don't really
You
love
could
any
have
of
the
that.
knife we used to kill our parents.
Oh, I want a memento from stuff.
Hmm. From the House of Green Delights. This feels fucked up and weird, but like kind of exactly like something that Trinity would do. Uh, I think that Trinity probably picked up some of the teeth from the lady that Zeph headbutted for her.
Oh, let's go. Let's fucking go.
Oh.
Alrighty. And I think with that, we will go to end of session stuff.
Wait, but we didn't get Trinity's verse. I was so excited for
Oh,
it.
I mean, Trinity can still do her verse. It's just more or less
Okay.
of me making sure things keep a pace because I want to take a longer Stars of Wishes as a little bit
yeah,
of debrief because
that's
like
valid.
Yeah.
because woofda.
Yeah. I mean, I've got time. I took the day off.
Mm-hmm.
Should I just save the verse?
Yeah, if we're feeling up to it, we can probably do it after Stars and Wishes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well,
Sounds
and
good.
end of session stuff.
Yeah.
Be a
You
little
all
stinger scene.
completed an assignment.
Finally.
Congratulations.
You're welcome.
Uh,
Thanks.
Trinity and Zeph and Piper all engaged with a divine manifestation of some kind, in more ways than one. Uh, Trinity, were you vulnerable with someone?
Yes,
Yeah.
very much so with Zeph.
Did you deliver a monologue about the following: the nature of gods, the futility of individual choices of indifferent powers, the horrors that societies accept as good and necessary?
I think kind of a
Yeah,
bit.
I would say so. Just of like
Uh,
accusing Zeph of like several things during your vulnerable move of like this is
yeah.
there was nothing that you could have done. Piper, did you undermine the orders of your superiors or use the assignment to pursue personal interests?
I mean, I did last session for sure. But like, I don't know. I did pursue my personal interest of fucking a monster.
I would say that it was towards like the end goal of like making sure
Yeah,
Jessica got released. So I would say no on that matter.
yeah, I'd say no on
I
that. But I did
mean,
go out of my way to connect with the mayor. I
Yeah,
brought him his fucking daughter,
yeah, you did. You
and I
brought him
fucked the
his.
local monsters.
Yeah, I will give you that one. Uh, Zeph, you for sure were vulnerable with someone and struggled with your personal faith.
I get a level up. I think. Wait, no,
For
I can't
no.
count. I count for a living. I can't count.
Mhm.
Good job, honey. You're doing great. I'm so proud of you.
Mhm.
Shucks.
Uh, but Jesus Christ, what a session.
I did nothing wrong.
This is true.
Mhm. Well, the girlies will love this one.
A girly, sorry, just said.
Yeah, the girlies.
Oh fuck. Uh,
Hmm.
I need time to compose myself a little bit before I go.
That's fair.
Um, I can go. I can go first then.
Hmm.
Ooh. Well, I say that, but okay. Um, chaotic for you. My star is for how absolutely dirty you did me this session. Um, by making a big deal last session and the beginning of the session. Like, I'm so impressed with you're almost done with this assignment. You've fucked your way through it. And, this is extremely impressive. Now fuck this. And then dropping a whole ass monster on me right at the finish line. Um, and just being like, you thought you were almost done with this one? You thought you were almost done with this one? That is absolute king shit. Just like yeah, that's my big star for you, chaotic, because this whole Jesus Christ, um, just such an awesome like power move. Honestly, I'm super into it. It was really 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 good. Also, so Trinity, like your entire scene with Zeph at the very beginning, the journey scene, absolutely phenomenal. Um, the energy of "I love you, you dumb bitch" is just like such perfect sister, like
Mhm.
sibling energy that I was just like, damn, absolutely. Like, I absolutely buy the relationship here. As fucked as the relationship here is, like, it feels so solid and so good. As well as like immediately being like, I would do anything for you. And okay, no, actually, I won't do that. I won't kill you. No, I would do anything for you. Like absolute devotion, right up until the moment that you are challenged on, like, what does anything actually mean? It's like, oh wait, no, I wouldn't actually do anything for you. There are things I wouldn't do, and it's just like almost healthy. Like it's almost healthy realization, but just like it's still like I don't just I absolutely love the way that Trinity approaches problems of just like absolute passion first, brain maybe never. Like brain never sometimes enters the equation. And it's just
That is a very beautiful like synthesis of Trinity. Yeah.
it's so good. It's so good. And in that same vein, for Zeph, just like the heartbreak that I feel every time Zeph is just like, you want to help me? You really want to help me? Fucking kill me. That is like heavy, but damn if that's not some of the realest shit I've ever heard. Like, especially in a setting like Silt versus, where everyone is trapped by forces completely outside of their control, no matter how hard they fight. Damn. Um, absolute just like arrow to the chest for me. And then the fact that you were like, dropped the revelation. I told him you were dead. He knows I was lying now. Like that absolute I was just like, "Oh shit. That is huge." Just like an absolutely huge revelation. And I was just like everything about that scene was so good. And I like my wish is to I don't know, like we saw the beginning of their relationship kind of falling deeper into its own toxicity, and I'm like honestly I can't wait to see more of that, more of like the two of you falling apart. The two of you, like I know that Aaron wanted to do a journey scene with Piper just to have a normal journey scene, and I'm like listen, I'm finally free. I'm free of the investigation, of the assignment. I finished it. I will do journey scenes with anyone, like literally anyone. I'd work a glory hole, like anyone. Okay, like, but I'm just like, yeah, those are my wishes. I want to see. I can't wait to see, um, your relationship the continue to fall apart and how like I don't know. It's just so good. Um, yeah, thank you, everybody.
Yeah, it's so gross, but also so lovely at the same time. I guess I'll go after saying that. For Piper, always fucking your way through the assignment. We completed an assignment purely like it was just you. It was fully just you. You just we solved an assignment. And it was only you. Because it's definitely not me and Zeph. Me and Zeph were busy being nightmares. For chaotic, I'm trying to think how to put this. I really appreciate the it's my birthday. Do something nice for me, yeah? And I actually didn't use it. I didn't use the I get advantage for one roll, just one roll. I really wanted to clear all the conditions. That been so good.
Yeah, I chose that specific sort of uh
There were so many
for
moments like I could have, but
yeah.
I didn't want to. I didn't want to use it.
Yeah.
You're a monster. You're a monster, chaotic. I appreciate that I am. First off, of course, that the journey scene was so fucking good. I really didn't uh how do I phrase this? Like that was an intense scene in the best way. Um Unexpected but great. It was so intense. It was so lovely. Um those awful sisters. Wishes. I would like to engage with Piper more. Um, it like me and Zeph are have that thing, but like it's important to have like engagement with the other characters. Yeah, I guess it's my big wish. Yeah, and she done.
I can go. Damn. It's it's very interesting to see like how all the storylines like parallel one another in terms of what is good sexual desire and what do you use your body to gain for, whether it's Piper quite literally just being like it's package delivery. It's like just that framing thing of just being like, I'm like, huh? What do you mean? He's just you're like sex working, you're delivering actual packages, and like to refer to like your own children as packages. That is just a very, very interesting take, as well as just like the sort of weird time thing that is going on. That is really fascinating. And it's just like it makes me question whether or not is Piper in all of these scenes, or is this something that is being shown that has happened to her mother, or something a glimpse into the future of something that will happen to her children. So like, oh God, that is a mystery and a half. Seth, on the other hand, it's not so much a mystery because you know exactly what's going on and you know exactly where it's going to end up heading. And oh boy, I written Dear Husband to like give people like an out in terms of like sexual violence, just in case people do not really want to engage with that aspect of like inspiration from Bluebeard's Bride. Because I know it can be really rough to deal with a campaign framework, but I'm very, very impressed that you have been able to like maintain like that dark tone as well as seeing like how far we can go with the material. Um, damn. Fuck dear husband. He's awful. Um, Trinity, I don't know what force femming the dear husband's gonna do. I That's not something I
I don't know
considered.
either.
Is he gonna eat your cereal? Like, I don't think so. I don't like, especially with the fact that like his
Listen,
wife lied
you can
about
just
you.
shove food in people's mouths. So therefore, I assume you can just shove cereal in a god's mouth.
I guess you can do that, but you gotta see him first.
Listen, Trinity is not a logical person. She's just gonna do what she's gonna do.
Like like with like this new
Check
thing.
out Forest Rain cereal.
Yeah,
Sorry.
like because like we're gonna have like a new assignment next time. Honey, I'm Home is gonna probably trigger off. Which means that you have like a location to go to.
Listen, I don't want to tell you. I made forced famine cereal and
Hmm. And you used it on
fuck
clunky
Deidre
cheese.
husband. I'm gonna do whatever I have to do.
I mean, yeah, you can tell where his mouth is because of the floating cigar. And if you shove him into enough cereal, then
Yes.
like eventually you will eat it. But like, I'm not sure what the
Or like I can also just like get more god flesh and then do another thing that's like beyond human beings.
yeah,
Very vague.
very
It
big. And I just
The cereal that makes you eat the Force Fem cereal.
yes. Or like I the thing I do beyond human means is like grab a god and feed them.
yeah.
Only if you baby bird it.
Oh, actually, that's really good. I like
Oh
that. I like
no!
that. That's great.
Oh,
You know who's going to have to do that then?
Degenerate stuff. Thanks.
Zeph's going to have to do it. Zeph's going to have to be the one.
oh
Oh,
no.
oh, so yeah. So Trinity's gonna give the Force Fem cereal to Zev and be like, you have to make him eat this. You have to make him eat this.
Incredible.
Jesus Christ, this is a nightmare. A nightmare scenario I've created.
I don't know what the theological implications of this is.
I also don't know. And hey,
And
it's
I
not a
keep
problem
saying,
because I'm not the one running this game.
it's dear male wife.
I do kind of think that it's actually secretly brilliant because dear husband comes like his power comes from the assumed male patriarchy. So in his own worldview, if women are inferior and all of that, if you take that from him, what is that going to do to his power? He is going to, under his own framework, be like, I am now weaker, submissive, have like duties that I need to
But
perform, and like I do genuinely think this is secretly very smart. I don't think it was intentionally very smart, but I think secretly.
no. I mean, definitely not. Definitely not like intentionally smart.
I just,
It's
wanted to make
simply
Force
like
Fem cereal. What do you want from me? Like, hell yes, though. I think it's kind of
Trinity is a
brilliant.
monster who has intents and
Incredible. Holy shit. Uh, I guess that's me now. So first, for chaotic, I really like the way that Dear Dear Husband is structured in like the play phases and what it wants you to do. It makes it like difficult to focus on a single assignment,
Mhm.
which makes it a little bit harder, at least for me, to get clues, which makes like it's really good. Like I like that about it because it's a really interesting and fun challenge, especially for players like me who like to, focus on tackling one mystery at a time. Like it makes you interact with more of the game on more of a piecemeal way, where you're kind of bouncing from place to place, getting like maybe one clue for a single mystery, maybe like one or two clues for a mystery in a session and then going to a new one and getting one or two clues for that assignment. It's really intriguing, and I like the gameplay, like the design philosophy there. It's really cool. Um, Also, like for actually keeping the game, I really like. I really appreciate that you are able to facilitate the kind of things that we are all narrating. Like it's it takes an extreme strength of character to be able to make your players feel safe enough in your environment to be able to express these kinds of feelings and to do this incredibly vulnerable stuff where I would wager at least most of us have probably gone through similar. Uh, like, it's a really Like, it's just really impressive that you're able to do that, that you're able to make the traumatized feel safe enough in an environment to explore that trauma in a different and like new way. I personally, I really appreciate that, and it's really refreshing to be able to do something like that in a way that I know that I'm not going to be like judged or made fun of or anything like that. Like, I'm able to just express it in the real and serious and horrifying way that it needs to be expressed if someone is going to do something like this. And that we're still able to come up for air afterwards, but we just do it in a way that doesn't take away power from that scene. And it gives it, again, that respect that it deserves. So that's more of a star for everyone as well in that last bit there. Anyhow, for Piper, I really love all of the themes that you're going for with your verses and with Piper as a character, and like seeing everything about her in her verses. It like recontextualizes so much all the time. Like, every verse is recontextualizing something that's already happened, and that's really impressive, like from a writing standpoint and a creative standpoint. Like, it takes a lot of like consideration and mindfulness and like direct intent to be able to retroactively make something you said a callback to the past. Is like, it's just really impressive that you're able to mix those tones in so well, and to like basically showcase all of the behaviors and then explain the behaviors later on with ways that like people aren't really expecting. Like, it's the way that you deliver the lines and the way that Piper acts completely, almost completely counteracts the things that she's been through. Like, it's very clear that she has some sort of defense mechanism going on where she can like is almost physically incapable of taking her own situation seriously, which is really fun as like a character archetype, and to explore that kind of like denial aspect of going through trauma, and like instead of working on it, you refuse to engage with it, which makes it grow and fester. And like, that's, I really love the story that you're telling with Piper, is effectively the short and long of it. And for Trinity, I also really loved our journey scene. But I think that like my favorite part of that was like you saying that like Trinity is immediately going to like go in for a kiss, and I was able to be like, no, Zeph, like one of the few times that no is good in improv. Like,
Yep.
to be able to like push that away and have
No, but
yeah, and to have Zeph just be angry and to let them fucking duke it out like that. Like, it really, it feels good to be able to have that kind of super intense role-playing scene with someone. Like, I haven't really gotten a lot of chances to do that. Like, I can count on one hand the amount of times that I have like gotten into a good, like effectively like screaming match with another player that was just fun and a good role play.
that's kind of what we were doing, right? Like, it was very close to like
Yeah, like that
yeah,
was
it was
really
intense.
good.
It was very intense in a good way, in a good way, in a good way.
Yeah, and like I especially love how Trinity is, I think her whole, the defense mechanism that she shows the most is just refusing to take accountability. Like, just abject refusal, like, no, if I don't take accountability, that means it's not my fault, which means that I'm fine and I don't have to think about it. And that's a really like fun and powerful dynamic to explore, especially with what the Harrow sisters have going on in, their pasts, their present, and like they're so they're so fucked up.
So deeply fucked up.
Yeah, and like I would be remiss to psychoanalyze everyone else's characters and then not do mine. Uh, like it's pretty clear that Zeph is her defense mechanism is to fawn. Like she tries to just appease anyone that she's with. The only exception being when Trinity's involved. Then it's always fight because she wants to protect her more than she wants to keep herself safe. Which I think is a really fun dynamic to explore and to keep exploring. Yeah, as far as wishes go, I'm excited to get the rest of the verses out that are on the table. Maybe Aaron will do it at the end of these. We'll see. Depends on if we're all
I
good with
forgot I
it.
was gonna do one. Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm excited to get all of those out on the table and see, further where everyone's horrible, fucked up little Blorbo stories go. Uh, and yeah, I also want to have like a journey scene with Piper, and like failing that, just investigating a mystery, like an assignment together. Because I want to get some, because I don't think Zeph and Piper have had any on-screen interactions yet,
We
except
have
for
not.
we had the one where we were going to the mask room and you were coming out of it, and that's it.
Yes.
Mhm. Yeah. Just to go. Okay.
So uh, last time when I leveled up, I picked the option of create your own custom journey scene
Mhm.
that you can only go to after you complete an assignment, which I just completed an assignment. So if
Mhm.
y'all want me to swing by and pick you up on my
Let's fucking
motorcycle
go. Let's fucking
next
go.
session, it's gonna be a wild time because it's going to be a big reveal. I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Uh, Fair. In terms of the mechanics for Dear Dear Husband, definitely like it is a playbook with face sheet with a lot of condition management. So like that's why the journey scene is so centralized to it. However, there's a lot of things like you can negate like entering in the journey phase depending on like what moves you take, such as to bear children like always grants you advantage. Uh, or Honey, I'm Home effectively is like a journey scene without entering in the journey phase, but allows you forward to have a more investigative approach. Your psychiatrist just gives you more advantage stuff. And yeah, it really is like how it's a little bit of a like a sort of a player like sort of like inspection because it like asks how long can a player sit on a condition before they get antsy about clearing it. And for Steph, it is one session. Um,
As it turns out for me, it's 3 sessions.
yeah, yeah. Effectively, you would like Erin would probably get if she was playing this faith, she would get disloyal like all the time. So yeah, I can see like some people who probably never even get too busy for him, with the exception like the first session. So it's very interesting because it's like because one of the ways that assignments build up is when you don't go keep bouncing between them because they sort of escalate much faster than like between threats. So yeah, I just like that my faith sheet is running as it's supposed to be. So
It's really good.
yeah, I'm so excited for heading home.
Yeah. The nightmare that we have me and Steph have concocted was not planned, but I think it really does well with dear husband
Yeah.
in the worst way imaginable.
Yes.
Is taking a toxic situation and trying to do if we multiply a negative by a negative, it becomes a positive. But the secret is that we're not multiplying shit, we're just adding more toxicity.
Mhm.
Yeah, how's everyone feeling?
Yeah.
That's probably a good check-in because
Mhm.
me and Steph are degenerates. And
Yeah, I mean, even I think I took the longest to actually get back to equilibrium there, and that is largely due to my own experiences in life and being able to do that. And I felt so fucking anxious during uh that whole verse, but it was really like I don't know, it felt anxiety doesn't feel good, but it felt really I don't know, for lack of a better word, it did feel good. Like it was a fun anxiety. Like, even though the sensation itself is bad, and I don't like that sensation, it amplified things in a way for me that was really fun.
Mhm.
It did seem to me that it was cathartic for you. Like
Yeah.
that it brought out feelings that you were glad to share or at least wanted to be seen. Even though they were kind of big and anxiety inducing feelings, it felt like um I don't know, it felt like a moment of real genuine vulnerability. Um which is something that I've really enjoyed about this entire game, is that um it's been a lot and it's been horny, but it's also been genuinely vulnerable and being like,
Mhm.
sometimes people need the space to explore ideas that in other contexts would not are things they
Mhm.
would not want to happen in real life, but need space to explore them and feel them, and that's one of the things that I think is great about our group, and specifically this game, is that we have the space for that, and it feels like we have each other's backs on it, and that, I don't know, that's a good feeling. It feels like community, and that's
Mhm.
good.
I'll say I kind of had a suspicion that after me and Steph meet in real life, it was probably gonna get weirder in game, which did, which I was
Yeah.
like, cool, great.
Unclear if they're related, though.
We'll just have to all get together in one room to test the theory.
Mhm.
Point.
Good point. Anyways, no, I saw yeah, the 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 stuff we engage with, the stuff we've been doing is I'm gonna say important, but for me it's important. It's this is a safe place for me to
Mhm.
touch on stuff most tables I couldn't, right? I don't I think it's pretty rare that we have tables that you could do the shit we do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. That's similar to how I feel about it. It's like there are so many things that I want to do with characters that I'm not fully able to realize just because, for whatever reason, I'm not familiar with a group. I don't know where everyone's lines are. I don't want to immediately, get into a call with people that I'm unfamiliar with and be like, hey, let me do a safety check real quick. How do you feel about sexual assault? Like, that feels kind of weird for that to be someone's first impression of me.
Yeah.
Uh, so I'm just really glad that we have this familiarity and respect and care and frankly like platonic love for one another. Like, I think we all have, I don't know, it's really good. It's really nice, and I'm glad that we're able to explore things like this and like have these experiences and these moments and be vulnerable with one another in a way that doesn't make us feel vulnerable. Like, we don't feel like we're going to be attacked. We don't feel like there's going to be negative consequences for it. Like, I also like really appreciate that you all make me feel safe enough to where I'm able not only to do that kind of stuff, but to do it on recording and be okay with it being posted. And like, it's
That's a wild part of this. Like we're
Yeah.
like we're
Yeah.
very towing the line of like
Of what YouTube would allow. Yeah, I think
I mean, if no
it's
one from
mostly,
YouTube sees it,
yeah, I
That's
think
the
it's
big
mostly just because like A, it's not getting seen by a lot of people, and B, no imagery, like explicit imagery,
Yeah.
because like they do allow like stuff by classic authors on there for like book readings and whatnot. So
yeah.
uh yeah, I I have the very unique perspective in this group because like we are all playing characters in our own right, and like we have times where we're wearing our character hat and our player hat, but like I'm consistently wearing my character hat as keeper. So like there is like this sort of persona of like that is cold and calculating and thinking of like what can I use to in terms of consequences down the line, what can be introduced from the past into the present. And like there like several times like in like while you were narrating verses, it was just a point of like I cannot really touch this directly because this is a point of vulnerability that if I were to touch, this would shatter trust. And like but I am invested in to see where is this going. So like this like I'm a like a person who does not have a huge tolerance for bleed. So like even though like this game is particularly intense, I still like have like this sort of comfortable bubble where like I'm watching this and it's not affecting me and I feel comfortable, and I really really appreciate everybody just being able to like go in and out of character and being able to check in and take things slowly. I know like I give y'all shit sometimes, but like I do want to like give you space as to explore st stories that you may not have a space elsewhere to explore. And I think Silt versus in particular as a system is unique in Gauntlet games because it like really explicitly tackles political ideas head on rather than meandering its way around them. Uh, my hot take for today is the Silt versus is darker than Arkham Herald.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I haven't read any of
Haven't
Arkham
played
Herald,
it,
so
yeah.
I don't know.
Haven't played
I don't
it,
know
haven't
shit.
read
At the very least, our version of it is.
Yes.
Silt versus goes so fucking hard. It goes
Like-
so fucking hard.
I've listened to, I think I'm one episode behind on the Arkham Herald playtest that you're in with Wes Daniel, Alex, and Beanar.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I just holy shit!
Wait, Beanar is in your
Yeah.
Arkham Herald playtest?
Yeah,
Oh
Yeah.
fucking hell! Okay, well, now I will.
It's
Well, tell
wild
Binar
to
I
me that
said hi.
I'm in that group chat too. We can both
Holy
tell them
shit.
hi. Yeah, I don't know how any of this fucking happened. I don't know, I'm charming and silly and goofy.
Alex likes you.
All of those things are true. That is true.
Yeah, it's because I'm in good with Alex.
Mhm.
Love that guy. He's one of
Yeah.
my best friends.
Yeah, it's very wild because like it's I'm
And
there
Daniel. I'm
and
also cool with Daniel. And you. Shit, most of the people in there really like me, so I guess it makes sense.
I'm just there like because like several of them are like voice actors or like people who are officially published in the Gauntlet. And it's just me who's just like I have done diddly squat.
Just secretly the best keeper in the Gauntlet. Like
Yeah.
secretly, the best kept secret of the Gauntlet is that Chaotic is the best
Cal
keeper
spitting
around.
truth.
No, like absolutely. You
Yeah.
should get a fucking medal, and if not a medal, a hat that says "Daddy" on it.
And I'll say he was saying this like I'm a better keep like literally the fucking patron chat like
Yeah.
I'm a better keeper than Jason because I don't think Jason can deal with me and Steph. I think like
Yes. Yeah, no, Jason would not know what to do. Like, I do love Jason,
yeah,
but Jason wouldn't know what to do with all of us.
no, we're monsters. We're absolute monsters.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking insane.
And
Yeah.
I want to apologize
Yeah.
for 1 second. I will never apologize.
I was about to say, actually, maybe we should cut that part from the end of the video, but like,
Yeah.
no, actually,
No, we're
no,
gonna leave it.
no.
We're gonna leave it.
No, I will
If
tell this to Jason to his face if need be.
as a if Jason Jason Cordova, if you're watching this, you can't handle us.
You're not ready for this.
You're not ready for this.
I think on
There
that
you go.
note, we'll stop the recording.